Hello, everybody. It's another beautiful day, beautiful afternoon, and I hope you're having a good time as well. Uh, it's nice to come out and just speak to the camera about a few of my thoughts. Today, I want to talk about lies. You see, we are living in a world where lies is everywhere. Uh, when we were little, our education was lies are bad. You gotta be honest with people. You gotta tell the truth because if you lie to people that you truly love, it hurts their feeling. Um, but as we're growing up, seems like that's not always the case. Whether you're going to work, whether you're hanging out with your friends, sometimes you cannot be complete honest because sometimes truth hurts. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear some lies. And sometimes lies cures some people. So this is controversial to what we used to believe. You see, when God created this world, uh, He didn't take away lies. He said He allowed us to lie. He allowed us to tell the things that's not true, and people can believe in it and actually spend their time and energy uh, into believing that lies. And in fact, a lot of great things were built because it was a lie in the beginning. Uh, when is like I just had this thought recently. I can't imagine how many lies we're living in around us. It could come from your family. It can come from your closest friend. It can come from your coworker. Not necessarily a bad intention, but they're not the truth, and we couldn't figure it out. Um, I remember when I was little, my mom used to tell me that I was not born by her. I was picked up from the street. Uh, I really believed that for a long time until I got older. But then I understand, when a kid asks you, "Hey, mom, how was I born?" and it's hard to, you got to be very strategic to tell him the truth without uh, leading him in the wrong way. But a lot of times, these explanations were covered by lies. So, I guess our discussion is, how do we live with lies? Uh, I've seen people, when they detect a lie, they get very angry because they believe when they're being lied to means they're betrayed, means they're not being truthfully treated. But unfortunately, there are going to be lies, and if we cannot live with lies, we don't live a future. We cannot live a happy life. I don't encourage people to lie. I guess my point is, how do we live through these lies, and how do we become okay when we hear about lies? I think the first thing we probably need to understand is, why was there a lie? Okay, let's not categorize lie into something bad. Let's just put lie into this neutral ground. Let's not discriminate lies because it is a part of the world. And We're living with it. When God created the world, it was there. So I guess it's a challenge we all have to learn and live through. So I think we need to learn how to be okay with lies. When we hear a lie, okay, calm down. Let's ask more questions. Questions like, okay, let's be more specific. Be more specific. Uh, why leads this leads to this? Why this leads to this? We gotta ask more questions. That's one way to get as close as possible to the truth. The truth means the reason you're lying. Are you lying to me because you're trying to get me in trouble, or are you lying to me because you want to protect me? And second of all, I think to live with lies is to understand what is a lie. A lot of people says, "Oh, I didn't lie because I did not tell you something that is untrue." But to be faithful, sometimes not disclosing the important information is a lie. This is what I think is one thing that people has been taking advantage of. A lot of news, a lot of social media, even like a lot of partnerships. Uh, there was this misunderstanding. So let me give you like a really bad example. Let's say if uh, one person cheated on the other partner, but she didn't tell her, or she didn't tell him until the other partner asks, "Hey, did you cheat on me?" And then they say yes. Well, is that a lie or is that not a lie? Well, you didn't disclose that voluntarily until the partner asks you, and I guess that will break out fights. But I guess the partner thinks that, oh, I didn't tell you the wrong information, so why is that a lie? But then you didn't disclose that important information voluntarily. I guess that is also unfaithful. So I think to understand this lies or betrayal, I think is important to understand the what is the logic behind it. It's not about the wording; it's about your behavior. Are you presenting the truthful self to your partner, or are you bringing the truthful self to your whatever you're doing? Your clients, your friends, your families. You know, is all about the behavior, not the wording. I think people has been focusing a lot on wording, and that's where you get taken advantage of. Uh, a lot of nice people are being tricked by this, and I feel bad that people are being tricked by those smart guys who plays around with the words but didn't follow the logic. Uh, so I guess that's why I want to talk about. It's just lies. Be careful with that, and don't try to hurt people. Um, but just remember, is it has been there, and it is here, and it will be there. But it's up to us. Uh, how do we face the reality? That's what makes a strong person.